We will start with our today's lecture. So yesterday we looked into internal RAM data transfer, right? So the instruction started with MOV. This is called mnemonic, MNEMONIC, right? So MOV is called the mnemonic, and the format is MOV. We write the destination first, and then we write the source, right? So if accumulator is the destination, all 4 addressing modes possible. If register Rn is the destination, then direct and immediate addressing mode is possible. If destination is memory location, direct memory location, all 4 addressing modes possible. And if the destination is indirect memory, only 2 addressing modes possible, right? And always remember, data transfer with accumulator, in all the cases it is possible, right? Data transfer from either take in accumulator or read from accumulator. With respect to accumulator, all the operations are possible, right? So with respect to accumulator, all 5 addressing modes are possible. Okay, hope you all remember this, students, right? I just wanted to share all these addressing modes. How do you say that this is immediate addressing mode, this is direct addressing mode, this is indirect addressing mode? It is always with related to the source operand, right? Every time, remember, students, if the source is in the register, we say register addressing mode, right? So where is the source operand indicates the addressing mode, not the destination, right? So move a comma Rn, the source is in register Rn, hence register addressing mode. Move a comma direct, 8-bit address of the data is mentioned in the instruction. So where is the source? That direct address is given in the instruction. So direct addressing mode. How is the source? It is pointed by RI, indirect addressing mode. And how is the source? It is given in the instruction, immediate addressing mode. So always remember, depending on the source operand, we categorize the addressing modes. Fine. Look at the left hand side. MOV @RI, A, it is register addressing mode. MOV @RI, direct addressing mode. And MOV @RI, #data, immediate addressing mode. So depending on the source operand, the addressing modes are categorized. Okay. So yesterday we had stopped at external RAM data transfer instructions, right? So these are the 4 options or the 4 variety of instructions related to external RAM memory. Fine. External RAM, what is the size of external RAM that you can connect is 64 KB at the maximum, right? So from external memory, you're going to read the data inside microcontroller, or from microcontroller, you're going to store data into external RAM. And in microcontroller, which is the register that you will be using? It's only the accumulator register. So either from memory, the data will be stored in accumulator. These are the first 2 instructions. And from accumulator, that is from microcontroller, the data will be transferred to memory. So accumulator to memory are the last 2 instructions. Okay, so just let us quick revise of this. We stopped here. External RAM data transfer, the instruction should have X in it. So the mnemonic should be MOVX. Correct? MOVX. And see, what is the addressing mode? In the first 2, it is indirect addressing mode. And in the last 2, it is register addressing mode. It is accumulator to memory. So the last 2 is register addressing. The first 2 is indirect addressing. Right? Now see your first instruction, MOVX A, @RI. So the destination is accumulator and the source is a external RAM memory pointed by RI. Now we said RI can be register R0 or register R1. Correct? And register R0, R1 are 8-bit registers. So just you should have a doubt here. External RAM, what are the addresses? 16-bit addresses. External memory has a 16-bit address. Whereas in the first instruction, I am taking only a 8-bit register mean an 8-bit address. Then how it is possible? See, the pointer is going to store only an 8-bit address here, right? So we will clarify this. How can a 16-bit address memory be accessed using a 8-bit address register? Okay, so but just note the difference. The first instruction is MOVX A, @RI. This is a pointer to external RAM and it is an 8-bit pointer. And data pointed by RI is copied into accumulator. The second instruction, MOVX A, @DPTR. Accumulator is the destination and the source is pointed by DPTR register. Now DPTR is a 16-bit register and external RAM memory address is also 16-bit. So that's not a problem, correct? So @DPTR, the data pointed by DPTR, which the external RAM data pointed by DPTR is picked up and copied in accumulator, right? So the first two instructions, memory to microcontroller. And the second last two instructions, MOVX @RI, A. Memory is the destination pointed by RI and accumulator is the source. So data from accumulator is copied to external RAM memory pointed by RI. Correct? And again now this is an 8-bit pointer, right? See the just note the difference, right? Last instruction, MOVX @DPTR, A. DPTR, that is the destination memory pointed by DPTR. And how is the data transfer? Data from accumulator is transferred to external RAM memory pointed by DPTR. And DPTR is a 16-bit pointer. So we'll see two of the instructions ahead. We'll just explain in detail two of the instructions. So we'll explain MOVX A, @RI. Correct. So exactly the particular instruction MOVX, external memory, RAM memory, A, @R0. Now R0 is an 8-bit register. Correct. So let us assume some numbers. Accumulator is initially stored with 66 hex and R0 is stored with 3 hex. What is 3? That's an address stored in R0 because R0 is a pointer. So R0 will be holding a memory address. Correct, students? So see the explanation. R0 is pointer mean double brackets. The contents of R0 is an address. And what is that address? 3 hex. What is this 3 hex? It's an address of external RAM memory. Correct. And the data from this RAM memory, this address RAM memory is picked up and copied in accumulator. Okay. So let us see it graphically, table wise. The same example here. MOVX A, @R0. So what is the explanation? Semicolon, look ahead. Data pointed by R0 is picked up and copied in accumulator. So what we have assumed, see the before execution table. Let accumulator be stored with 66. The same example is carried ahead. This is some data in accumulator and this is something in register R0. Right? Now how many byte the instruction is? Instruction is, it's 1 byte. Okay, this is register A, this is pointer register R0. So there's no number here. Mean this is a 1 byte instruction. So see, ROM location, 100 ROM location, we have written only 1 byte, 0E2 hex. Right? Actually it is E2 hex, but then we should write a 0 at the, it's an alphabet, so 0E2 hex. So this is a instruction written at ROM location 100 hex. So this is an opcode. So this, after decoding the code, microcontroller understands this is an external RAM transfer, R0 is a pointer, and data pointed by R0 is to be picked up and copied in accumulator. This is all is decoded from this E2 hex. So see the black arrow. So after decoding E2 hex, microcontroller automatically refers to R0. Now see, the table has been changed a bit. Now I have shown here external RAM memory address and data column. External RAM is 64 KB, so the addresses begin with 4 zeros to FFFF. So that is external RAM. In the middle, I have shown internal RAM, and only the registers I have shown, not the rest RAM. Okay, internal RAM, I have only shown the registers. Right? Then that is accumulator, B register, PSW, DPTR. And before execution, that ROM. Right? So ROM is that internal ROM, address column, data column, 3 zeros to 3F. So we are writing the instruction in program memory, ROM memory, and the instruction is E2 hex. Okay, what is that instruction? MOVX A, @R0. So microcontroller will automatically read R0 and it will understand R0 is holding one RAM address, external RAM address. And what is that address? 0003 hex. Correct? It immediately, look at the blue arrow, it immediately goes to that location 0003 hex, picks the data from it, and see the red arrow? That data is transferred to accumulator. So this all indications are obtained when the opcode is decoded. E2 hex, microcontroller automatically reads R0. R0 is holding an external RAM address, so it goes to external RAM memory, 3 hex address, picks the data and stores it in accumulator. So see, after execution, what will you find? Accumulator is stored with the data. 77 hex is obtained in accumulator. Correct? Which data is this? This was the data pointed by R0. See here, @R0. So 77 hex was pointed by register R0. Correct? Now see here, students, I told you all R0 is an 8-bit register, mean it can hold only an 8-bit address, but the external RAM is having a 16-bit address. Then how does this work? See here, students, I can use these instructions only for the first 255 RAM memory locations. Why? Because see, the first addresses will be 0000, 0001, 0002, right? So even if I refer the number as just 01, 01 is same as 0001. No matter how many zeros you add before, the address is not going to change. Correct? Instead of writing 0002, I'll just refer the lower 02, which is 8-bit. Correct? 0003, I'll only refer to just 03 hex. Right? Such, how far can I go? I can go like this up to 00FF. Correct? How far? What will be the last address I'll go to? 00FF. And after 00FF, the next address will be 0100. Mean the third digit is getting changed. So how far can I use this instruction MOVX A, @R0? Only till the lower 2 digits change. The upper 2 digits do not change. Right? Specifically, I can use this instruction till the address where the upper 2 digits will remain 00. And hence I can access the memory location up to 00FF. Okay, students? Right? So mean FF is 255. Exactly, mean 0 to 255 is 256 memory location. So using this instruction, I can use an 8-bit pointer to 16-bit address memory, but then I can access only first 256 memory locations of external RAM. Is that okay? Why? Because the upper 2 bits are 00. So I need not refer these upper 2 bits in the address. Is that fine? @R0 is 8-bit pointer, and how it is accessing a 16-bit address memory. Okay, I'll repeat. Okay, I'll repeat. See here, I am writing MOVX A comma at the rate R0. How is the data transfer? The data pointed by R0 is transferred in accumulator. Right? Mean R0 is holding an address of that RAM memory. Correct? Now what is the RAM memory? The RAM memory is external RAM. Mean it is having 16-bit address 000 hex to FFF hex. This FFF hex is a 16-bit binary number. Correct? So data pointed by R0 is to be picked up and copied in accumulator. So R0 is capable of only holding 8-bit address, not the 16-bit. Correct? Then which address will it hold? It will hold the first 256 addresses. R0, I can use R0 to store the first 256 addresses. Why? Because the first addresses will be 0000, 0001, 0002, 0003. This is a hexadecimal number and then we will convert it into binary. It means, see, the upper two numbers are always 0. So I can neglect that. I can neglect the upper address and I can refer the memory location with only the lower address. 3, 2 hex, 1 hex. Correct? So that only the lower address, if I refer, it becomes 8-bit. And hence I can use it, an 8-bit register, to store the lower address. Okay. So using this 8-bit register, I can access a external RAM whose address is 16-bit. Because the upper address is always 0 and we can ignore the upper address. Correct? But then what is the last location I can access using R0? R0, the last maximum address can be FF. So the lowest address can be 00 and the last address can be 1111 means FF. So 0 to FF are 256 addresses. So using R0 pointer, we can access only the first 256 addresses of external RAM memory. The data of first 256 locations can be read. Let us go to the next. Now MOVX at the rate DPTR comma A. This example was memory to accumulator, and now this example is from accumulator to memory, that is microcontroller to memory. MOVX at the rate DPTR comma A. That's the instruction, right? So what it does, data from accumulator, look at the downside, data from accumulator, there is a bracket, data from accumulator is copied into memory location, external RAM memory location pointed by DPTR. And now DPTR is a 16-bit register. Our address is also 16-bit. So I can store anywhere in external RAM, right from 000 hex to FFFF. Any location of RAM memory, I can store the data. Why? Because DPTR is a 16-bit register and the address of memory is also 16-bit. So say for example, I have taken accumulator is already having 66 hex. That's the data in accumulator. And what is DPTR going to store? At one address, right? This is one address, 2680 hex. And at this address, the data is going to be stored. So accumulator is having 66 hex. Look at the last line. That 66 hex will be copied in this memory location. Who is having this memory location? It is this memory location is stored in DPTR register. It is a pointer register. Okay, so here the data transfer is from microcontroller to external RAM memory. So let us clarify again. The same example is given. MOVX A comma DPTR comma A. Data from accumulator is copied into external RAM memory pointed by DPTR. Okay, so see your table. This is external RAM memory and somewhere here it is 2680 hex. This is the address. Okay. In between this internal RAM, I have only shown R0 to R7 internal RAM. registers. And on the next side it is internal ROM 002 FFF. So our instruction is 1 byte. MOVX@DPTR, A, 1 byte instruction. So we have written only 1 byte. 0x0F0 it should be. Okay, 0x0F0. So this is 1 byte and it is opcode. So our instruction is written in the ROM memory. And when microcontroller decodes the opcode, it understands DPTR is having some address. Correct? DPTR is having some address. Go to that address. See the black arrow? DPTR, it immediately goes to DPTR. It picks up that address. Blue arrow, it goes to that address 2680 hex. And data from accumulator is transferred to that address. Correct? So see, after execution, 66 hex was the data in accumulator. It is transferred to 2680. This is an external RAM address. And where did microcontroller get this address from? From the DPTR register. Correct? So F0 is telling microcontroller DPTR is holding one RAM address, external RAM address. Go to that address and data from accumulator store at that address. Okay, 66x. The red color is the data transfer. So from accumulator, data is transferred to external RAM memory, which was pointed by DPTR. Okay, students. So that was external RAM data transfer, MOVX. Now we will see ROM data transfer. Now ROM memory mean program memory, read-only memory. So the operation is only reading from the memory, not writing into it. Correct? So always the operation will be from ROM memory inside the microcontroller. And again, there are only two variety of instructions. MOVC A, @A plus DPTR. So see here, indexed addressing mode. MOVC, C for code memory, program memory. So MOVC A, @DPTR. And the second example is MOVC A, @A plus PC. These are the only two examples for ROM memory data transfer. Okay, so what does this instruction do? MOVC A, @DPTR. DPTR is storing the address of ROM memory. That address gets added with a number in accumulator, which we call it as an offset, and a new address is generated, which we call effective address. So DPTR plus accumulator, on addition, effective address is created and data from that address is picked up and copied in accumulator. So let us, for example, we have taken accumulator is having one number 9 hex. DPTR is stored with ROM address 1000 hex. So what does this instruction do? A plus DPTR. DPTR is 1000. Accumulator is 9. So on addition, it becomes 1009 hex. And data from this ROM address 1009 hex is picked up and stored in accumulator. Okay. More clear understanding, right? Again, this is same example. 1 byte instruction. This is MOVC A, @A plus DPTR. It is an indexed addressing mode and 1 byte instruction. Right? 1 byte means, see, there is only that opcode 93 hex. This is that 1 byte instruction opcode. Right? So we always write program in ROM memory. So where have we written? We have assumed this is an 100 is the ROM location where we are writing the program. So 93 hex is opcode of this instruction. Right? So on decoding the opcode, microcontroller understands it has to add accumulator and DPTR. See the black arrows. See what is there in accumulator, 9. See what is there in DPTR, 1000. Add both of them, becomes 1009. Go to that address 1009. What is this 1009? It's a ROM memory, external ROM memory. So go to that 1009 ROM memory, pick the data and copy it in accumulator, the red arrow. Correct? So the single opcode is going to indicate microcontroller, take the data from accumulator, take the number from DPTR, add both of them. This will give you a ROM address. Go to that ROM address 1009, read the data from that address and copy it in accumulator. So see, after execution, that data 2A hex will be copied in accumulator, the red color. Correct? And the memory is always read from external or internal ROM, take the data in microcontroller. So, and microcontroller only accumulator is used. That's the same example. And now see, the second variety of instruction is MOVC A comma @ A plus PC. PC is program counter. So the same execution, program counter address is added with one number in accumulator and a new address is created, and data from that new address, it's a ROM address. Data from that ROM address is picked up, stored in accumulator. So let us assume accumulator is again having some number 9. Program counter is having an address C20 hex, just for an example. Which address program counter is having? ROM address. Remember, this is related to ROM memory. Program counter always points to ROM memory. So PC plus accumulator C20 is added with 9 and the new address is C29 hex. And the data from C29 hex is picked up and stored in accumulator. So we saw now internal RAM data transfer, external RAM data transfer, and ROM data transfer. It can be internal or external. Okay, so now we are left few instructions. We are left with that few data transfer instructions. So we saw MOV, we saw MOVX, and we saw MOVC. Now we are going to look into the last 4 instructions under this category: push, pop, exchange, XCH, and XCHD. Exchange 8 1 byte and exchange nibble. So the last 4 instruction in this category. So we'll start with push. Okay. So now see, whatever the last 4 instructions are left, push, pop, exchange, these are all related to internal RAM. Correct? Remember, internal RAM 0 to 7F. Right? So see here on the right hand side, I have shown one table only of internal RAM. Right? Address and the data column, and addresses from 00 to 7F. So these all instructions are only related to internal RAM. Correct? And then specifically push and pop. These instructions are dealing with storing, reading and writing from stack memory. Correct? Hope you all remember stack memory. Our stack is nothing but internal RAM memory itself. Stack pointer is by default stored with address 7 hex. So from 7 hex, the stack memory begins, and from where? 7 onwards. So it begins with 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, and so on up to 7F. You can have your stack memory. Right? So from 7 hex onwards, your stack memory begins. Okay. Now push is going to store data on stack, and pop is going to read data from stack. So push is storing data into memory. Pop is reading data from stack memory. So this is the only format, only way to write push direct. So there is only one direct addressing mode possible. Push direct. So it is telling you give an address of memory location or give an address of SFR. but you cannot use accumulator address, right? You cannot use accumulator address. So push direct, I need to give an address. And which address? 8-bit internal RAM address. Correct? So push direct is the general format. An example is written here, push 1C hex. Correct? So what is it telling? You have to save the data on stack. Where is the data? 1C hex. So this is a source address. From this memory location, you're going to store it on stack. Okay, so push direct, this direct is the source address. Okay, so see how it happens. Now, storing on stack, initially there's something happening first. While storing on stack, the stack pointer first increments by 1, gets a new location, and the data from 1C hex is now copied to memory location pointed by stack pointer. Okay, students. So while storing on stack, the pointer first increments. SP plus 1 is the new SP. Correct? The stack first increments and then the data is stored. From where? 1C hex, this is a memory location. So data from this memory location is picked up and stored at the new pointer. Right? So see, look at the table, students. By default, stack pointer is pointing to 7x. 7 is stored in stack pointer. As soon as we write push instruction, SP will become SP plus 1. So SP plus 1 means the new address is 8 hex. So the stack pointer will now have 8 hex. Correct? So SP plus 1 is 8. Look at the last instruction. What is stack pointer having? Address 8 hex. Correct? And the data from this address, the data from 1C hex is picked up and stored on stack. So see, somewhere here I have shown 1C hex. That's also a RAM memory. What is 1C hex? It's one RAM memory address. And data from 1C hex is picked up and stored onto stack pointed by the stack pointer. So 44 hex will be copied at this location. So see, execution at 44 hex will be stored at this location. Right? Which location? 8 hex. Correct? Right? So see here, stack pointer was having 7 hex, which is also R7 register. Correct? 7 hex is also R7 register. But the way stack is used, stack first increments and then the data is stored. So this 07 location does not get disturbed. It means that R7 register does not get corrupted, overwritten, because the writing, while writing, first increment, then write. Correct? So this 7 hex location remains unchanged. Hope you are getting me, students. Right? So always remember, push means writing onto stack. Stack memory begins from 7 hex. So while writing, first increment the stack pointer and the new location, store the data at that new location. Again, if I want to write, increment the pointer by 1, come to 9 hex and write the second data. Third write, increment by 1. So come to A hex and write the third data. Correct? So the format is push and give the source address because stack is the destination. Writing, we are going to write onto stack. Okay, students, right? Now, one more point you should always remember is this is bank 0 register. I can use bank 1 registers also, but then bank 1 and stack will get overlapped. Correct? If I'm using bank 1, the stack and the bank is getting overlapped. Even though if I'm not using it as a bank, I can use this as a memory location, storing data purpose, general purpose. So then stack is getting overlapped with either the general purpose memory or the bank memory. So to avoid this conflict, what we usually do is, as soon as I'm going to write the push instruction, I will give another address, I will store another address on stack pointer. I will not start my stack at 7 hex. Okay, we always use the last locations, the last RAM locations as a stack. So say suppose I need only 20 locations. So I will use the last 20 locations as a stack. Correct. For example, I need 16 locations, 16 stack memory locations. Then I will initialize my pointer to 70 hex. So 70, 71, 72, 73, so on, 7F. The last will be 7F. So 70 to 7F are 16 locations. Correct. So my stack, what will I do? I will store into stack pointer the address 70 hex. And the last locations will be reserved for stack. Then this bank 1 becomes free. I can use all the banks because I have moved the stack memory. Correct. So bank memory locations can be used, bit addressing memory locations can be used, right? General purpose memory can be used, so that stack does not get overlapped with banks, bit memory and byte memory. I'll only take care, I will not use the last 16 locations. That is okay. So always remember, we do not use the default stack memory. We reinitialize to the last RAM locations. Okay, so before writing push, I should have written instruction MOV SP, hash 70 hex. Mean I'm defining my stack at the end. And then I'm writing in it. I'll use push for writing, pop for reading. Okay, students? And now see, when do you need stack memory? Whenever microcontroller is dealing with interrupts. Whenever microcontroller is executing call instructions. Whenever microcontroller is executing return instructions. It's only then stack memory is used. Okay, so that is, and that's where we, for storing data on stack, push, and for reading data from stack, pop. Okay, now we will see this pop instruction and then we will stop. So now pop is reading data from stack memory. So pop direct, only one addressing mode possible, direct addressing mode. So I need to give here an address. Correct? So you're reading from stack. So the source is stack memory and destination is you mention in the instruction. Correct? So this direct is destination address. In case of push, the direct is source address. Okay. Pop mean read from stack and store in the destination address. Where to store? You give it in the pop instruction. So example given, pop 1C hex. So data from stack is to be stored at the memory address 1C hex. And remember, these addresses are only the internal RAM addresses, not any else. Okay. So these addresses should be from 00 to 7F only. Right. So pop is read the data from stack and save it at this address. So see what happens. Wherever the stack is pointing, data pointed by stack pointer is picked up and stored at the memory address mentioned in the instruction. Correct? Now, what is stack pointer having? We had done a push. So where did we write? 8 hex. Correct? 8 hex, 44 was stored at that location. So I'm reading now. Correct? What is my next instruction? Pop. So where is my stack pointer? 8 hex. So read this 44. Where is 44? Pointed by SP. Right? So read this 44 hex and stored it at the address. Store it at the address given in the instruction. Right? So the 44 hex is picked up and stored it in 1C hex. Correct? And now after storing, stack pointer decrements by 1. After reading data from the stack memory, pointer decrements. So SP minus 1, what is the new SP? 7. So it came back from where it began. Right? From where did we start with? 7 hex was the starting address of stack memory. Then we did one write operation. We did one push. It went to 8. Then immediately we did a pop. It read the data from 8, right? Took the data, read the data, and come back to the original location. Correct? So while reading, read the data, decrement the stack. While writing, increment the stack and then write. Hope you all are getting me, students. Okay, so thank you for attending and see you in the next session.